That was a great conversation with Councilmember McDuffie. And now we will pivot to Frank Malone.
How are you, sir?
Hello, Frank Malone. You're no stranger to the Washington Informer, and I know you as an outstanding advocate on behalf of men and boys, and you're an outstanding Omega man, even though I kind of
Thank you, my
hesitate to
alpha
admit that.
brother.
But
We
yeah,
all,
but you're just
we
an
all in this
outstanding
together.
citizen. Now, Mr. Malone,
Yes,
briefly
sir.
tell us about 100 Fathers Incorporated and what your organization is doing to combat gun violence in our communities.
Absolutely. We have a different take than the government does on how to solve these problems. The 100 Fathers has been around since 2010 and before that, working to transform the lives of fathers and men as valuable, visible, and viable members of our society that can make the change, can bring a safe community, a safe family, and safe schools. We've been proven by the research. As a matter of fact, in 2016, worldwide research points to Black fathers in America as some of the most coveted leaders in the world, not because they have the most money, not because we're living in a home with the mother, but because we love and care for our children the best way that we can. And so the Pew Research, the American Psychological Association understand our value and purpose as we look to transform our society as Black men of purpose, promise, and power. So, I also want to add that Kenny McDuffie, who was just on, and Calvin Rolark Sr. and Marion Barry are some people we work closely with. Calvin Rolark was one of my leaders, taught me leadership.
Yes.
Marion Barry helped
Yes.
to bring the Commission for
I know.
Fathers, Men, and Boys to D.C.
Yes, he
And
did.
Kenny McDuffie
Yes.
signed the papers for that legislation that we brought.
Well, dovetailing into that, why do you believe there's a rise in gun violence in our community?
I'm glad you asked that. And I want to give you some research because the book that I studied from says, study to show thyself approved. There's a lot of people talking a lot of things, but unless we're talking about prevention, intervention, and innovation, we don't have a pure understanding of what has to be done. Let me give you something from the pure research on why this violence prevails. Taken from Black on Black Violence by Dr. Amos Wilson, the neutralization of the oppressed community's males and the destruction of their character, credibility, has overrode the territorial and institutional imperatives that exposes them to unrestricted, rapacious domination and exploitation. What am I saying? I'm saying some emasculated males
Okay.
holding guns
Okay.
under such circumstances
Yeah.
may become unwilling allies to the vehicles of genocide,
Yes.
suicide in
Yeah.
our community. And
Well,
what we're
well,
saying, go ahead. What
well,
we're saying
well,
is that we can heal this community.
gotcha. Gotcha. One of the keys of healing and is the fact that you're going to take a fishing trip. Now, some of us like to hunt, but you're taking a fishing trip. Could you talk about why you're taking a fishing trip and what is the purpose of it?
The purpose of this trip is to take 20 unknowing young men who need fatherhood and mentoring on a trip to fish for fish. But while they're on this trip, we as the mentors and fathers will be fishing for their hearts, talking to them about manhood, character, values, respecting women, and what's important to a man in this society in the 21st century. We're excited about these possibilities. Yes, sir.
Fantastic. As we wind down, it's always great to talk to you, youth or adult. Tell us how people can become involved in 100 Fathers Incorporated. And do you have to be a man? Can women get involved?
We have some strong women, including my wife, that work with us. We're connected with the Black Women for Positive Change, the Omegas, the Alphas, the Kappas, the Black Greek Festival. We're connected with thousands of men, the Made Man, the DC Fatherhood Coalition, the Alliance of Concerned Men. We're all working together to rebuild the fabric of our community using the positive love of affirmation and leadership of fathers. We don't get that in the media. Unless we come on your show, we don't actually get a chance to talk about the great things that great dads do to protect and save our community. But we're doing that work in the schools, in the church, and in the street. And so we have a program that can change the lives of young men. They need to know through practice and through promise with men who have the experience that they can be healed, they can be changed, and they've been given a new direction and purpose in life. So we want to heal our young men and give them an opportunity to talk to real men so that we can guide them down the path of success as fathers and men. And remember, a father is not going to let anybody hurt or destroy his children. And so we are a group that is so very important to this gun violence because we're the leaders that got to step up, show up, and speak up for our women, families, and children. That's what the 100 Fathers is about. Catch us on www.100fathers.org, or you can call us at 202-361-0761. We're going to make the change in the schools, in the community, and in society. We already been on the street. We've been doing man the block. We've helped to train some of the violence interrupters. But you
Okay.
gotta have skills. It says in my book, study.
Right.
Show thyself approved. You can't give what you don't have. You can't teach what you don't know. The government does not have all the answers. It's got to come from the community, from the
Got
people who know each other,
Yes.
care about each other,
Yes.
love each other.
Okay. And thank you. Well, thank you very much for that information, Mr. Malone. Continue the great work that you're doing.